It's the NFL on EA Sports. And in the spotlight is Khalil Herbert. He had a great week last week, well over 100 on the ground with a score. It's the Bears and the Vikings, and it comes your way next.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So here are the Vikings set to go to work, and they're led by the leading passer in the NFC a season ago. Now in his 12th year, 6th as a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So I say the award goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree with you totally. He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Cousins to throw it. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
You look at this Bears defense.
They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that it's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return, and the Bears take over.
So here come the Bears to take over on offense behind their 3rd-year quarterback, former Ohio State Buckeye Justin Fields.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep a string of good games going right here.
A man who led the league in yards per carry last year, it's Khalil Herbert.
And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. These are his numbers from last week's contest. And Charles, how do you think he ran the football?
I thought he definitely had his moments. I did think that they could have utilized him a little bit better, and I'm definitely going to keep an eye on him to see how they're going to use him this week.
Second down, they go back to Herbert. And this will be a Bears first down as he's able to get this up past the 40. The Bears at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. And they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
On first down, it's Fields. And this nearly an interception right off the bat. An early crisis averted as that winds up incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense. What a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club.
On first and 10, it's Herbert.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
From the gun, here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. Fields to Kmet there for a Chicago first. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers will get involved as this game goes on.
Herbert powering up the middle.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
And Marcus Davenport, former Saint, in on the stop there. You look at this defense for the Vikings.
They're currently 21st, Charles, in the NFL against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means this is going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
Now a throw here to his running back. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Fields on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Santos' kick is up and through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
Cairo Santos, kicking from Chicago.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it, because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. They go play action. Cousins. And that's incomplete.
And that's the knowledge you gain from being in this league for a long time. He's learned the hard way when to give up and fight another down. And that's a smart move to throw it away.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Jones on the return. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10. We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive.
And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now it's Fields off the bootleg.
On the move to his left.
The flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. He broke that line of scrimmage and then let it fly, and that's an automatic flag.
Yeah, and you know, you don't just lose the 5 yards there, but you lose it down as well. So he obviously needs to have better awareness about what he's going to do. Either tuck it and go or throw it to a target and get that pass away.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete.
Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Chicago! DJ Moore, his 4th touchdown on the year.
And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
This defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. To throw, Cousins. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack.
Michael O.J. Mudia
In there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down.
Well, their first sack of the game, and it doesn't come from a usual suspect, not somebody up front, but Charles, a defensive back getting in there.
And I can tell you from experience, he's beyond excited to make that play because you're exactly right. It isn't normal to call his number to run at the quarterback like that. Usually you're defending the pass, but he takes full advantage and dumps him to the turf.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. Here's Jones. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10.
We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive.
So far, been so good this season. Well on his way, as you see, to a 1,000-yard campaign. Is he almost having the type of year to where you say, let's let him get his and we'll control everything else?
That's one way to go about it. Personally, I go about it differently. I'm taking on the bull. I've got to, because he gives his team an identity and confidence. And if we slow him down, now guess what? Everyone starts looking at each other like, who's going to make a play? Because he's made all the plays so far. So I have to go get him first. Build my defenses towards shutting him down.
Good luck. I mean, not many teams have been able to do it. We'll see.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
62 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, if there is a certainty in this game, we know that wherever he goes, he's going to draw a big-time crowd.
Throws into double coverage there, and look, that's something that he's going to have to deal with a lot in this game, I'm sure.
Yeah, they were lucky to get away with that one where it just fell incomplete, but they're going to count on him to uncover latent routes and make some difficult catches.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Open man, he finds Komet. Touchdown, Chicago.
A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0.
So an early advantage now and a good one. 17-0 our scores. They kick this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play fake. Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Cousins. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. And CD, defensively, you're going against a hot quarterback coming off a 3-touchdown game in their victory a week ago. But what's the big key for them to try to slow him down?
You ask all the tough questions, don't you, partner? Because with this guy, if you blitz him, he takes advantage of that man coverage and burns you. But if you bring on those extra DBs, he sits back there and does what he wants. To me, it's going to be those DBs. When they catch the ball, big-time tackles really put it on those receivers.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So they course and push the offense backwards a bit.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Hand off right side for Herbert.
And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line.
69 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
34 yards that time.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Here's a give to Herbert.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. That is caught. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
Out of the gun, Fields.
To the right side, and he's got more complete. His 2nd catch, this one not quite as dynamic as his first, and it's 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
$17-0 our score after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the 2nd quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they are looking at a 2nd and 5 situation.
Here we go, Scott.
A handoff for Herbert. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 85 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Herbert once more.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Here we go.
So not quite a 1st and goal just yet as they come up now 2nd and inches.
Go.
They'll run here with Herbert.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Herbert will take it in. Touchdown, Bears.
Well, he's been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Santos now to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but The way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Off the play fake, Cousins. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. This offense so far on third down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Here's Jones on the return.
A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards.
And out will come the offense as they take over.
We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
Now Herbert to start the drive. To about the 35, 2nd down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
From the 35, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Herbert. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
Well, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. How about 25 yards on 3rd down? They'll take it.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a first down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Here's Herbert. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 117 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Now this is an example of breaking down in defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go, son.
On 1st down, right back to Herbert.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
But really, that was no surprise. Running it well all game. And I know goals change all the time, but any team will take that type of run each and every time.
Now a 2nd and 6.
Go.
Here's Fields. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. Charles, not only is that an interception, it's one when you were really knocking on the door for a touchdown inside the red zone.
You're actually thinking points. No matter what, at worst, you're thinking kicking a field goal and getting 3. We might look back on this in the second half and say, you remember when they didn't get points on that drive? This could cost them.
Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a first down. Now Cousins. Into the hands of the rookie Jordan Addison. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up 2nd and a yard.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Now here's Goodwin with it on the jet sweep.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
3rd down and 1.
From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive.
He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
They'll stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here.
They run with a 4th-round pick, Roschon Johnson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Fields.
Forced out to his left.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He was over 100 receiving last week. He's over 100 now this week, as he's got a first down as well.
Fields.
Buying time to his left.
A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is going to lose yardage here.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll go Madison up the middle. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Vikings. Alexander Madison with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
A try here for the extra point. And this is up and good. That'll make it a score now of 24-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown scamper from Alexander Madison. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series. He's well on his way to 1,000. Maybe on pace to just tear past that, Charles. Defensively, they need to pay a little bit more attention to him.
Yeah, I think so, because remember, throwing the football, that can shred a defense quicker than anything else, because as soon as the catch is made, he still has the ability to, yards after catch, get downfield, gain even more, score touchdowns, all of that. This is going to be a lot of fun to watch as this progresses, to see how they defend him and how he changes up his game in order to try and keep getting open.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
There he goes, right side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a 1st down.
I am willing to bet that he got a monster grin on his face when he saw what was happening. Man coverage was so committed to denying a big throw that it pulled attention away from him, and he had an easy lane to hit, and hit it he did.
They'll run. It's Herbert down at the 25.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
From the 25, here's second down and 7. On play action, Fields. And this one too low.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming third down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of the momentum the other side is starting to gain.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down.
Now Fields.
Sliding out of the pocket. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to have it here at their own 15. He got outside the pocket there trying to improvise, and he was calling for the ball downfield, but still the interception.
I think what happened, he did call for the ball thinking that he was open, but I think the quarterback spotted him too late. And that margin that he had on the defenders, that got eaten up, and they came up with the interception.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Cousins.
They'll get this underneath to Madison.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. On third down, Cousins.
Completes this to Addison out left.
And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to make it 4th down.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on for the 5th time here today. On the return is Jones. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll score that a 36-yard punt.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say the great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime.
Now a first down throw. Fields over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here we go.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. To throw is Fields.
And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal,
Not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coach. Well, we'll move right through the break then, skipping halftime and back to the field for the start of the second half. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. No run back here for Jones, a touchback. So here are the Bears to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Starting on the ground with Herbert. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Here's Fields. And he's got this to Jefferson. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown, Chicago! Justin Jefferson, 71 yards. And the Bears come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Cousins to throw it. Looking for Addison again, and he's got him again. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
And there's a pretty play for Madison. It seems like a perfect fit for the Vikings. Obviously, Minnesota loves receivers who produce, and Addison, one of college's best and most productive receivers the last couple of seasons.
Here's Madison running on 1st down. Now inside the 25. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Vikings get a bit closer. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Kevin O'Connell choosing to lead his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. Cousins will try and throw. And he'll find his way in for two. And we're back to a two-score game. The lead's cut to 16. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a two-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the two-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
Taken at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Now the Bears offense ready to take over again.
Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
Here we go.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Fields.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Credit that sack to Marcus Davenport.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
They'll look to throw.
That is caught.
A huge play there for Chicago. 42 yards.
Another big play right there, and this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Herbert powering up the middle. And down to the 41.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Another carry for Herbert on 2nd down.
Past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago.
Khalil Herbert
With his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
and the Bears are able to extend their lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23.
Santos to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start on the ground with Madison. There he goes, left side. Stiff-armed him. And stiff-arm number 2. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. Back to the ground on first down. Here's Madison. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks.
60% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now, with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team was saying, yeah, we called him the disruptor. And that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, Doug.
So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps him inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Jones now on the return. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive.
And he's sure looking like a lock for a 1,000-yard season. Don't know if he's going to get it in this game, but he'd probably like to just to get past that point.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, as you noted, there's still time, still opportunity. There's still more games to be played. So, yeah, it's not a lock, but barring injury, it certainly looks like he's going to get there. And what an accomplishment that is. Anytime you get over 1,000 yards, you're celebrated in the NFL.
It's been quite a season. Still a couple chapters left in that book, though.
Second down, they go back to Herbert.
And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Fields on 3rd down. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was nearly a big 3rd down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense. What was that run?
This is one of the dangers of going for the punt block.
And you know before you even call going for the block, it's a risk-reward play. So many factors come into it. They went after it, and you know punters, what they do? They leave their leg up in the air an extra count or two, hoping someone comes into contact.
Now it's 1st and 10 after a costly penalty there on 4th down.
Here's a give to Herbert.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Marcus Davenport brought him down, the UTSA product.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction.
Fields now to throw.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Here's Fields.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And this will get inside the 20 and be touchdown just outside of the 15-yard line.
Alexander Madison leading this Vikings offense out there to begin the next drive.
He is north of 200 yards. Any time that you can say you're north of 200 yards, you've done something right.
Yeah, you're going to get some big check marks on your grade sheet, and you're going to be in heavy rotation on all the highlight shows, and you might even make a magazine cover or two.
He's hoping for more, the cherry on top maybe, as this game goes forward.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Cousins now. There's the stiff arm. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Cousins on 3rd and 2.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Again, it's Cousins. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he goes out right around the 39. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
First down, here's Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Cousins, meanwhile, has this complete to Madison.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. It was a running back who was a receiver on the play. Ike's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd went to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
Now left side on the swing pass. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. And here's Ryan Wright now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And they won't try and pooch it. It's a fake. But he will not come anywhere close to the first down marker. And that gives us a turnover on downs. A little trickeration there, but it doesn't fool them. And this 11-play drive is going to lead to nothing on the scoreboard. We switch the attention now to Khalil Herbert as this offense comes out for their next drive. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
Are you sure?
Well, a lot of the runners kind of know. But I'll guarantee you someone has sent word into the offensive line that he's got a chance to get over 200 on this drive. That should give them a little extra motivation because they love it when backs break that barrier.
Absolutely. We'll see if he can do it. Another carry for Herbert on 2nd down. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now 3rd down and 7. Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. A handoff for Herbert. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. It's been an excellent day for him running the football, no doubt, as he continues to soar well past 100 yards.
Yeah, it almost feels like he can just grab his briefcase and head home after putting in a full day's work at the office, doesn't it?
On 1st and 10, it's Herbert.
And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The speed of Jordan Hicks on display there as he gets the tackle for loss. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss.
Herbert once more. That's it strong. There as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone.
First down for the Bears, a gain of 15.
Here we go.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 2nd down, a run with Herbert.
And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on 1st down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Second down, they go back to Herbert.
And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Now it's Fields.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So 2 3rd down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a 3rd, and now they deal with 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never...
And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long.
Now they'll try and set up the quarterback draw here.
And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And taken right at the 35. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Bears take over.
Justin Jefferson and the rest of this offense, they've got their helmets back on, and they're ready for this next series.
He's been almost impossible to bottle up. You see that number 10 on your screen, a big reason why they have the lead.
One of the guys that's being featured in this game and making sure that he's targeted because they do trust him with the ball. That's why they go back to him time and time again.
Way to start the drive.
Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end.